5:32 p.m. As you can see, want to be clear about the time, the date, and my location. And again, I remain at third-party facilitating venue Fairfield Inn, Fairfield by Marriott. I want you to see that logo. I'm prosecuting. The prosecution of a business is a prosecution of the corruption that's underway in this country. It's symbolic. It's literal. It's a literal prosecution. It's literal justice, but it's also symbolic regarding this capitalistic society. There's more wrong with this society besides the fact that it's built on making money, which in and of itself is not wicked. It's not. It's the love of money. What the love of money causes people to do, and that tragic foundation is what this country is built on, and that's unfortunate, and it's a true statement. This criminal system that I'm exposing is nothing new. It didn't start when I started documenting it. I'm not the first person that's been subject to it. This has been going on for decades and decades and decades in this country, doing so in a manner that is supposed to be above and beyond any human being's ability to prove it, and literally even explain it. I mean, how are you going to articulate what the entity is doing? And in a way that someone's not going to falsely depict you, misunderstand you, and question your own sanity, even as it comes out of your mouth. It reasonably causes one to question their own sanity. And I recognize that. I understand that challenge. And I believe that it's why this has happened to me, in order to advocate on behalf of those who have been subject to this, and in order to explain it to those who can provide justice to those who have been subject to this criminal system, so that you can understand what it is that they're going through, and you can understand the malice with which a public entity engages in this criminal system, targets an American citizen. So in the sky space, in the great distance, is the entity stalking, crossing path in a commercial airline plane. If you can see that, that's P.O.C. stalking in the sky space. And you know that unquestionably, because this is a light source that's not the sun. And we're going to go through. I started this video at 5:32 p.m. I'm going to remind you about why the entity is engaging in demonic pacing on the street. The entity crosses path by FedEx, knowing that I pointed out FedEx criminal conduct at Courtyard Monrovia. The entity's same exact tactics are not only tired, you're talking about going to federal prison. So that's impunity. FedEx is engaged in state terrorism. They're crossing path under a fake sun. They're doing so in engineered light, which is touching all over the vehicles, touching all over the sidewalk. FedEx is openly engaging in what is a criminal act intending to obstruct justice, and they're doing so with regard to Fairfield Marriott, and everybody that works here is going to federal prison. Their group stalking and engaging in surveillance and Title 18 with FedEx, who comes onto the grounds engaging in the P.O.C. While they're all aware of what I'm looking at on my phone before I start capturing this video, I'm just giving you context and with regard to their ongoing concerted knowledge while they continuously engage in state surveillance. The light source here at this time of day is impossible, because the light source is remaining present, as you see it through the windshield of the vehicle that's here at 10:42 in the morning. And so this is what I captured, and so I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to look at why I captured the video at this time, 5:32. I have a very specific item of documentation speaking to the light source over me at 5:32 when I am in the state of Nevada, and that's evidence that's sitting on the record. These are demons, and you're looking at demons. You see the demon driving a FedEx vehicle. It doesn't matter what their races, you're recognizing them by their engagement in elements, which is speaking to demonic behavior, and it's serving a criminal system that the state of California is engaging in, and it is occurring in San Diego County. So these happen to be demons who are using African American vessels, if you want to break it down that way, because your race is no basis of any protection for the criminal activity you are openly engaging in while you're walking in engineered light, that's all over the asphalt, and while you're doing so in the environment where the fake sun is seen through the the rear windshield of the vehicle parked in the same exact parking lot. That is literally capturing what is the demonic in your face, an absolute scientific impossibility, evidence of what is demon possession and criminal engagement in federal group stalking and monitoring, which FedEx admittedly engages in, arriving in this parking lot, monitoring and real time in this video, and they do so. It's to its own demise. FedEx is engaged in state surveillance. FedEx is a terrorist. FedEx also uses its commercial airline planes to engage in the same exact group stalking that I zoomed in on over this hotel building. FedEx does the same thing using commercial airline planes, and so they're here using a commercial vehicle, engaging in the elements of monitoring. Demons operating planes, demons operating commercial vehicles, demons engaging in state surveillance with regard to the malicious engagement in a pattern of conduct designed to psychologically torture and criminally keep under surveillance. At 10:42 in the morning, the light source is in a position necessarily over this hotel in order for it to be seen reflecting through the vehicle parked in the handicapped license plate where FedEx is parked right in front of at 5:37 in the afternoon. License 8RRY150 is also documented as a third party criminally engaged in the P.O.C. by maintaining presence at the hotel. This is how the state keeps you under surveillance vicariously. This is how the entity maintains monitoring elements while I go to my window, and with simultaneity to my presence at the window, demons who are engaging in very psychotic conduct, lying in wait behavior, always present to engage in some method of light activity creation, audible activity. That's exactly what FedEx just did on video. All right, this demon is using her person, using her cell phone, using her very pathetic engagement. I'm focused on a conversation. I'm cheesing from ear to ear. I'm having a good time. She's monitoring someone else. Both of them are monitoring someone else under a fake sun that you can see through the windshield of a vehicle parked at the same exact address. Okay, Fairfield by Marriott in the morning at 10:42 a.m. You just saw FedEx engaging in the exact same thing. Okay, they don't have their own business, right? They don't have a commercial vehicle to engage in the elements of monitoring. They have their persons, which they use to create light activity. That's what FedEx does, driving onto the property, all right, and readily at the disposal, readily using what they have at their disposal to engage in the elements of monitoring. All of the entity is sitting on the edge of its seat, awaiting what it is that I'm doing, awaiting what it is that I'm exposing about them, and then you have all they have, because there's nothing that they can do to stop it, but it's showing the mental illness and it's showing the impunity, the ongoing desire to murder and kidnap someone, while in the face of that evidence, you continuously engage in it. There's no legitimate business underway by FedEx. There's no conversation or legitimate conduct going on, lawful conduct, private conduct going on in the specific environment under the fake sun at 10:42 in the morning, nor under the fake sun at the same exact address at 5:39 p.m. That's called crossing the path. Okay, that's P.O.C. I'm doing so in the specific environment. And so that's literally the same vehicle parked right here in the parking lot, 8RRY150. Through that vehicle, the windshield at 10:42, just like you saw that demon cross path, they're driving an engineer light. They're driving, monitoring me. That's the significance of having a fake sun. That's the significance of having engineer light. It's not sunlight because it's engineer light. And sunlight is not that which creates the pattern of that which it's hitting. You're looking at the shape of the window, and the shape of the window that's hitting the window is appearing flat on the inside of the building. That's impossible light activity, actually. And it's also not sunlight, you also know, because the fake sun is at the same address where it was at 10:42 in the morning, as you see through the windshield of the vehicle that's still parked in the same parking spot. So let's count together, because you do not have to be a rocket scientist. It's the same exact analysis. All I'm showing you is that the pattern of conduct is underway in San Diego County. Speaking to the removal of every fire chief, the mayor who's appointing the fire chiefs, all right, the chief of police, a terrorist leader, okay, and the sheriff over the San Diego Sheriff's Department. Corrupt, every single last one of them. That's how you have the impossible occurring. That's recognizing what is targeting by a population that is acting on behalf of a corrupt government. FedEx is devoted to state surveillance. It's a demon-possessed workforce who have access to commercial airline planes and vehicles with which they're engaging in the elements of monitoring, just like this demon with the license plate 9CSF558, and they're pacing. They're stalking, standing here, then they cross path going to the parking lot, walking in engineer light. This is engineer light that's sitting on the ground. They're driving in it, walking in it, monitoring and doing so. There's shadows appearing on the vehicle while they walk by. That's not sunlight. All right, and you also know it's not sunlight because this light source, which is stagnated, stationary, as a matter of definition, by being here, seen through the windshield of this vehicle here at 10:42, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 hours later, after it remained over me as I went to state facilitating venue, the San Diego Police Department, showing you what is their condition and the criminal system that they're fully engaged in, which is federal group stalking and monitoring, which only demons engage in. Demons are surrounding me while this light source remains over me. And that's exactly what I captured at the same time at 5:32 p.m. when I'm nowhere in the state of California, after having captured for the duration of the day where you're looking at the sunset through my bedroom window. This is a window and I'm inside of the building where you're looking out the window, you're seeing the light source, but this is not in perfect alignment or seen through my bedroom window at apartment 1806 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 6 at Alvarado Gardens. Nor is it remaining over the entrance of, for example, the Ovid Family Community Library. Nor is it over the roof of the Upland Public Library at 450 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, where the roof literally has windows and you can see that light source. And it is 5:42 p.m. I remain inside of that as a matter of record, sitting evidence right now for the prosecution of the people of the state. That includes FedEx, that's group stalking, engaging in surveillance, psychological torture using commercial airline planes, coming onto the grounds to engage in ongoing posing of an impermissible threat while they're engaged in federal stalking, with the people of the state obsessively engaged in the P.O.C. That's a demon that's not engaging in any landscaping. That's a demon that's engaging in crossing and path light activity creation and acting, again, to their own demise. Fairfield by Marriott is Marriott Bonvoy, who's a state terrorist, okay? This is a sex offense. This is impossible light activity. Nor is there any sunlight, nor is there anything that you're engaging in other than stalking. That's another stalker, all right? Doing so, moving around in the parking lot. Demons are doing nothing other than crawling all around in the engineer light. Inside of the depths of this parking garage is where you saw a blob of impossible light activity. And we're going to review that, and then you're going to be aware of what are the employees of Marriott Bonvoy engaging in. They're engaged in criminal presence. Okay, while I'm being molested and accosted and terrorized with engineer light, they're group stalking, sitting behind the desk inside of the venue where the fake sun remains. Okay, this is the fake sun over the pool. The fake sun was over my head at the pool at 12 before I left to go document the state terrorists who are the San Diego Police Department. Okay, and as I document the San Diego Police Department, I'm documenting the San Diego Sheriff's Department. As I document them, I'm documenting the San Diego Airports, International Airport, where they are using, it's the same exact pattern of conduct. I'm documenting the San Diego Fire Departments, every station, and the fire chief. Okay, so the entity is engaging in this pattern of conduct, and while I'm at this hotel and while I'm in the parking garage, I'm subject to this terrorism. This was captured while the fake sun is over the same position that you see it right now. I just want to be clear. This is the same position that it was at while I stood right here at this entrance, and the demons were molesting me over and over again, engaging in a perpetual sex offense that Marriott Bonvoy is going to compensate me for, and that the employees of Marriott Bonvoy here in San Diego are going to federal prison for. This is demonic pacing. These are psychopaths, and they all have demonic spirits on them, and they're actually acting in sync, and they're just crawling all around monitoring me right now. And you know that beyond a reasonable doubt because this is not possibly the sun. And it's in the same position it was at 2:46 in the afternoon, so let's look at that. Because this is where it was at when I stood at that same entrance and the entity was engaging in terrorism via directed light. This sex offender drives into the parking garage, and I am being terrorized, harassed, touched all over my body in an impossible way, a supernatural method for monitoring and harassment, because the demons don't like to hear me talk about their condition, the fact that they're demon possessed, the fact that they're mentally ill psychopaths, the fact that they're sex offenders, the fact that they're obsessed stalkers. Satan doesn't like to hear the truth, so Satan will engage in more violence. And it's going by third-party group stalker license 25857X2. And group stalking inside of Marriott Bonvoy headquarters are the two demons who you see sitting behind the desk. And they're going to federal prison, just like every other employee. Group stalking, maintaining presence in the path by painting the door in at the entryway. They're engaged in the P.O.C. and I will remind you about that. Group stalking, going to federal prison. Group stalking, going to federal prison for the intolerable level of facilitation of the state's pattern of conduct. This is group stalking, and it's the grounds of federal prison. All right, group stalking. The housekeeper is group stalking, entering into my room in order to open up the blinds, which I left closed, in order to have engineer light inside of my hotel room as I walk back in it, in order to continuously engage in a sex offense, which is demonic. All right, you have what is engagement and what is a sex offense, while engineer light, which is not possibly the sun, is appearing flat on the bed on the inside. And the entity is doing so under what is a light source that's still present at the same address that it was at 10:42 in the morning. This is impossible. This is 3:41. It's currently 5:46 p.m. The light source is in the same position here. And while I was standing on the ground here during the 2 o'clock hour, that's what I want you to look at, because I want you to see what is the direct evidence of federal group stalking and monitoring, where companies are aiding in the conspiracy to murder and kidnap people by having an environment where the pattern of conduct is underway, so that any part of the population, such as a FedEx, a demon-possessed group stalker affiliated with FedEx, a demon-possessed group stalker coming and pay for a hotel room, a demon-possessed group stalker crossing path on the freeway, just coming in, driving in and out of the parking garage, a demon-possessed group stalker stalking in a Falk ambulance, which you already know what they are. You saw the engineer light while they were stalking at Huntington and Myrtle. Fox engaged in criminal summoning while they use their lights right now, crossing paths. So the entity is doing so, and at 2:46 p.m., I'm right now. I was reciting the pattern of conduct while they're group stalking on Mission Boulevard. So that's what they're doing. They're crossing paths. So let's review this together, because the employees of Fairfield are going to federal prison for what the state is continuously engaging in. The population, the constituents of the state, are engaging in ongoing controversies to conspire to murder and kidnap American citizens. And then they remain controlling the narrative. Depicting that target individual that has either lost their life or sitting around kidnapped somewhere, meaning in a facility, being accused of a crime they didn't commit, being accused of having a mental illness that they do not suffer from, or they're sitting in a grave somewhere and being criminally defamed by stating that they took their own life, they committed suicide when they were murdered. Homicide upon federal group stalking and monitoring. While the demons are sitting around engaging in their ongoing criminal experiment regarding every aspect of your life, and they're waiting for the moment to come in and attack, all right, with finality. Either kidnap you to permanently silence you or kill you to permanently silence you, all right, for no legitimate purpose. There is no reason to engage in this criminal system other than to conspire to murder and kidnap. You have a population of the mentally ill targeting American citizens. And the corporate actor, Marriott Bonvoy, is facilitating that criminal system. That system of psychologically torturing someone, experimenting with the life of a human being. This is why you have impossible light activity inside of their parking garage. Yes, I'm going to drain the pockets of Courtyard by Marriott. Yes, the employees are going to federal prison. You're going to federal prison. Period. All right, so the entity is engaging in that, and the entity does so with knowledge of the fact that it's being documented. And so this is what I want you to be mindful of. And this is recognized a pattern amongst the state, the people of the state, who provide facilitating venues so that the state of California can keep you under surveillance. And it is shown through what is impossible light activity. Impossible light activity, as I refer to it, as ILA, that which is speaking to the ability to, in a structure where there is no provision for sunlight, and where there's also no provision for light that's just going to appear out of nowhere. This is light activity as opposed to what is. All right, that's called light activity. That's also a means of facilitation. It's not a failure of light. It's demonic. It's analogous to demon-possessed fire departments, demon-possessed ambulance EMT operators, demon-possessed police officers who use the vehicle lights and the sirens, demon-possessed group stalkers who turn on stalking in the path on the side of the freeway, turning their hazards on, creating a scene such as criminal summoning. Well, we've got a car accident, and then we're summoning who? The state, CHP, the police, who are engaging in criminal conduct targeting another. And you know that, and there is no car accident, no scene where you can pull out a body, which, let me be clear, the demon-possessed and very desperate entity that is seeking to murder and kidnap someone goes to that extent. And you will go from bandages to federal prison as surely as I document the specific environment and any crime scene within which is occurring under the guise of a car accident, for example. You're going to federal prison. Okay, period. You're going to federal prison. So that's the exact same pattern of conduct, and the entity's creation of the narrative is not going to supersede the specific environment where the conspiracy to murder and kidnap an American citizen is underway. Ever, never, it's not happening. All right, the specific environment is there because that criminal engagement in the P.O.C. is underway. And the entity acts with high-level malice, thinking that because it's the state, no one's going to question it. That's also a threat to the lives of American citizens. Right? So this is impossible light activity, and this flashing light, it's demonic. It's not a malfunction, it's facilitation. Everything that's occurring. While my shadow, two of them, are appearing upright in the depths of the parking garage where I am showing you the fake sun is in the same exact position that it was as I stood outside of that, showing you it's over the top of my head. It's in the same position at 5:51 p.m. right now. The specific environment is deliberate. So I'm going to show you that. You see the engineer light where demons were molesting me. The Courtyard by, not Courtyard right now, it's Fairfield by Marriott. They're sitting inside of the Fairfield by Marriott on surveillance cameras at work. Housekeeping, painting the walls, walking around, pushing around trash cans, group stalking, housekeeping, and they're monitoring. License 9JXW610. Terrorist organization. 9JXW610. Group stalking. a sex offender is going to be prosecuted with the demon that's using the landscaping tools. And license 11286E3, group stalking, pacing around with the demon that's using a leaf blower. That's what Jose and Sons Landscaping were doing at Alvarado Gardens. That's what Carlo Lopez was doing, group stalking at Alvarado Gardens. This is the demon pacing around in Engineer Light, monitoring with the demons that are in traffic, monitoring with the demons that are in the parking lot, pacing all around, witnessing their own demise. Okay, that's evidence of impunity. And the employees of Fairfield by Marriott are going to federal prison. Period. So I want to point that out, and I want to continue this video because the fake sun is in the same position it was. And this is impossible light activity. The reason why it's there is because they're fully engaged in the state's pattern of conduct. And the pattern of conduct is demonic. And you have a demonic environment serving to reasonably terrorize and harass, psychologically torture an American citizen who happens to be a patron, which is also a sexually violent threat by a third-party innkeeper. You're going to compensate for all of that. You're going to recover for that intention and the communication of that intention and that criminal facilitation by the people of the state. Okay, so this is why it's occurring at Fairfield and Marriott in San Diego, California, where the light source is in the same exact position. You see it as I open my window right now at 5:32 p.m. where it remains right now at 5:52. So I want to show you that light source because I captured it while the one demon possessed family after another, molesting me, monitoring me. All right. And then the employees are sitting at the desk checking these demons in and out. That's the fake sun where it's at 2:46 in the afternoon. It's in the same exact position right now. It's in the same exact position that you're looking at right now. Hold on. Let me capture this because I want you to see it side by side. So give me a second. Let me arrange this. That's the parking garage. That's at 2:46 p.m. All right. So let's take a screenshot of that. And then I want you to see what you are looking at right now. And that is not separate from what was just captured. This on a screenshot for you to understand. That's the coming in fire chief. He's going to be removed from his position before he even gets started. It's over. So this is the entity that's engaging in the maintenance of a light source. This is the same exact position. This was at 2:46 in the afternoon. And this is right now at 5:53 p.m. I started this video at 5:32 p.m. That's capturing the impossible again. Okay, it's in the same position, and I stood right here. And the demon possessed third parties, Fairfield and by Marriott, also inside of the building, all around under the malicious guise of having an operation of a business underway. And that operation of a business is facilitating state surveillance and federal stalking. You're going to federal prison because you're providing an intolerable level of facilitation. You're going to federal prison because you're engaged in federal stalking. You're going to federal prison because you're engaged in the perpetual sex offense with the entity that's stalking helicopter. And that's also why they're going to federal prison. This is exposing the San Diego Sheriff's Department, not helping Fairfield by in Marriott, not helping everybody that's checked in. They're going to federal prison, 7WXY680. Under the fake sun, that's in the same exact position where it was located this afternoon at 2:46, which is what you see at the bottom. And what is the pattern that the demon-possessed and corrupt terrorist organization, the LAPD, what do they exhibit to the world? Every time I captured very potent evidence, the demons would arrive in helicopters. That's exactly what the San Diego Police Department, the San Diego Sheriff's Department engaged in. And 7WXY680, the demons who are inside of the venue, let me show you their faces who are going to federal prison. He's going to federal prison. Group stalking, engaging in state surveillance, providing corroborating evidence to the federal government that the state has no legitimate leg against in federal court. They're going to federal prison for engaging in this pattern of conduct in the specific environment where the sun is never going to be present over the same venue, literally the same location where I stood at 2:46, where you're looking at the impossible light activity inside of the depths of that parking garage. All right. And also where the entity is engaging in a pattern of what is arriving in a helicopter as you capture very damning evidence regarding their criminal engagement in federal group stalking and monitoring and their demon possession. Okay. So this is what's relevant. And I want to make sure I capture this because this third party is going to federal prison. Group stalking with San Diego PD, who's crossing paths, San Diego Sheriff's Department, who misuses their helicopters, which they claim are used for rescue. They're engaging in crossing a path demonic behaviors. That's what Kelly is engaging in. Kelly over the Sheriff's Department is engaging in the specific environment where there's no sun at 5:32 p.m., which is what we're going to review now. While I am in the state of Nevada, you're looking at the fake sun that's remaining stationary here at the same location, Fairfield in Marriott. There's no sun that's going to be over Alvarado Gardens, contrary to what I captured every single day. Not going anywhere. There's no sun that's going to be over the Courtyard by Marriott. All right, where the entity is crossing path at 5:19 p.m. Remember? And I'm in the same parking lot where I was just the other day, and the entity is keeping the fake sun over me in the morning. 7:49 in the morning, 7:20 in the morning, 10:30 in the morning. At 10:42, you can see the light source through the windshield of license 8RRY150. All right, this is where demons affiliated with the state who are witnessing their own demise, the removal of the state actor, the chief of police, he's going to be removed. This is the fire chief engaged in criminal summoning. They're criminally misusing sirens and lights on the vehicles. This is the fire chief. He's not even going to be long in office before he's removed. I just want to speak to the entity that's engaged in group stalking right now in helicopter, not helping the people of the state, but I want to simultaneously expose the public corruption that's occurring on the watches of those demons who are engaging in that pattern of conduct. And it includes, by the way, here you go, right here, coming even closer, crossing path right here in helicopter. Aware of the fact that I'm looking at something else on the screen, okay? So this is what I want to make sure, because this is who's going to be removed. This is who's going to be removed from their location. They're going to be prosecuted as the terrorists that they are, as they are engaging in a pattern of conduct shared by Dominic Choi in the LAPD, shared by Alan San Victoris in the Monrovia PD. This is a demon-possessed government actor right here. Scott Wall, he's looking at witnessing, as I publish this evidence, he's looking at the demise of his career in law enforcement. And I stated this on podcast, I'm reiterating it, while the entity is engaging in terrorism, showing how the United States, how the demon-possessed and demon-infected agencies, including the San Diego Sheriff's Department, the San Diego Police Department, and the demon-infected people of the state, using commercial means, which is what FAIRFIELD by Marriott represents, using commercial means, which is what FedEx represents, using commercial means, which is what Southwest Airlines and every airlines at the San Diego International Airport represents, while the entity engages in that criminal pattern of conduct, which is intended, inherently designed to terrorize, as an entity, inherently designed to psychologically torture. And that doesn't work. So what San Diego police is learning, those two demons who were group stalking, engaged in criminal summoning, they're going to federal prison. The demon who I documented, San Diego police, I documented that license plate, they're going to federal prison. The San Diego Police Department has met its public exposure for engaging in state surveillance. And it is the same with regard to the San Diego Sheriff's Department. Kelly Martinez, first of all, this is a Satan-serving minion. She's fully engaged in the state's P.O.C. and the entity is engaging what is, speaking of helicopters, which they are criminally misusing to engage in state surveillance. That's what they're not telling you when they're giving press releases regarding their new helicopters and the new technology that they're engaging in to keep American citizens under surveillance and to terrorize them. That's why it's occurring, and they're demon stalking in helicopters. And so at what is the current time right now, 5:59 p.m., this video evidence speaking to what the entity is doing and assuming that the federal government is not already watching them while they think that they're watching me. They're doing it, and that the names of those demons flying such helicopters are going to be produced, and they're going to federal prison. Kelly Martinez, she is done as the sheriff over the San Diego Sheriff's Department. Scott Wall, he is done as the chief of police. This is a terrorist leader, a domestic terrorist. And the demon-possessed entity that are the people of the state. The demons driving into this parking garage at Fairfield by Marriott, group stalking on an ongoing basis. The demons who are group stalking in this hotel, all around my hotel room, stalking with audible activity while a fake sun remains over all day long, checking in for the ongoing obsessive and psychotic purpose to keep an American citizen under surveillance. Going to federal prison in room number 358 and room number 360 and room number 357 and room number 359, and on the second floor as well. They're maintaining presence directly around me in relevant position again on the sides 367 through 361. They're maintaining relevant position all the way around, and they're doing so with the demons that just provided evidence against them. The demons who are in access of helicopters, not different from the demons who are pacing all around like cockroaches in this engineer light all around me. Okay, this is the entity that provides evidence against itself, all right? And this is occurring on the watch of a corrupt mayor, not different from the demon-possessed and corrupt government leader, Karen Bass. This is why I'm able to go from Las Vegas to Los Angeles to San Diego and show you a consistent pattern of conduct. This is a demon. Okay, and he is the one that is placing these corrupt leaders in the positions that they're in. It is also occurring on his watch. It's not merely capable of being disregarded or shoveled off as a dereliction of duty. Like I said, the pattern of conduct is that which is necessarily being incubated. It's necessarily being tended to. It's being maintained. It's being protected. All right, it's not coincidentally occurring. This level of corruption, this level of high-level stalking, and facilitation at every public place on the freeways, on the roads and the highways, using planes and helicopters, Mayor Todd Gloria is fully engaged in the P.O.C., fully engaging in what is placing corrupt leaders and working with them, fully engaged in that pattern of conduct. Now, I want to be clear, this is another servant of Satan. All right, this is a demon-possessed person who's in a position that Satan has given. Satan has provided this to him, and he is witnessing his own demise and exposure for criminally engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring. Not ignorant about what the population, the people of the state of San Diego are engaging in. And this is one who is unfit and disqualified to be removed based on the criminal conduct, the public corruption that's occurring on a government actor's watch. You're disqualified and you will be removed. And you are worthy of federal charges as well. License 7WXY680, again, federal prison, driving that white Volt. The entity crossing path, everybody group stalking inside of their hotel rooms, their payment methods, their presence on the surveillance cameras, their engagement in what is using the key cards to get in and out of the rooms while the entity is stalking in helicopter and flying directly over my head, as it is aware that I revert from showing the camera and also start reviewing images. The entity immediately flies over at a closer angle. Okay, they can fly at an angle, they can fly right over. I'm speaking to the mind state, the determination to engage in what is highly malicious conduct, and there's no secrecy whatsoever. San Diego police are fully exposed as the demon-possessed and highly corrupt agency that it's revealing itself to be, and that's not different regarding Kelly Martinez and every demon underneath her leadership. Okay, corrupt leadership. And so with regard to where I'm at inside of this parking garage, where impossible light activity serving for what is an ongoing sex offense, which not only Courtyard Marriott, every Marriott Bonvoy facility, because that's what they're essentially, or building, venue, has the same exact pattern. Impossible light activity in the staircase, impossible light activity here at the parking garage, where the fake sun's in the same position where it was at 2:46 in the afternoon. Where that phenomenon, that which is demonic, it's akin to amplification. That's a phenomenon. It's akin to what is the light source even being over me in San Diego. That's a phenomenon. The phenomenon of engineered light moving all across. You saw the demons in the parking lot here at Fairfield engaging in that. I captured it literally all over in video today. This is what the entire population is engaging in. While you have the phenomenon happening one time, you have a pattern as I go amongst counties and including amongst states. All right, so this is the P.O.C. where Fairfield by Marriott, the employees are going to federal prison. This is criminal facilitation. And that's why the San Diego Police Department, the San Diego Sheriff's Department are flying over in helicopter. That's why the San Diego International Airport is flying over in airplanes. It's not the legitimate operation or use of planes because there's an airport in the city. It's called criminal placement in the path, group stalking, state surveillance, using airplanes. That is only conjured up in the depths of hell. The entity is engaging in such unheard of methods of stalking. It is designed to sound as though it's unbelievable. It's something that no one would ever do. No one could possibly be doing that. You are clearly making that up. You're clearly disturbed by accusing someone or accusing the state of that. You're suffering from, hallucinations. You're imagining these things. This is what the entity would like to suggest. The entity is far beyond any level to ever contend with the evidence that the P.O.C. provides. All right, and it starts with the fact that the light source is directly over me here, in the same position where it was as I stood at 2:46 p.m. Over the same exact location, in alignment to me, creating impossible light activity inside of my hotel room, which is impossible in and of itself. It's the engineered light that's hitting a surface, and that surface, the shape of it is flat on the ground on the inside of the hotel room. That's impossible light activity. It's also impossible because at the same time, 5:32, which is when I started this video, for the purpose of showing you where I'm at in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I'm showing you juxtaposing the criminal conduct of the San Diego Police Department and the criminal conduct of the San Diego Sheriff's Department, which is pointing to everybody else. You already know what the Los Angeles Police Department is doing. Literally, I didn't even have to say anything. I captured thousands of videos of them, and this is the same exact P.O.C. in San Diego County. But I want to be clear, I'm using this video as a matter of a timestamp, and I started it at 5:32 for this reason, and this is where I'm at, where you're looking at this light source, which is under no circumstances over anywhere in the state of Nevada, nor was it at any time of day when you're looking at the evidence of necessary stationary presence. To be over me here at 2:46 at the same location, standing at this parking garage at 2:46, it's still in the same position at it's 6:06 p.m. You're looking at the light source as the entity is maintaining engineered light through my window, suggesting that that's sunlight. And you're going to use that demonic imitation of the natural environment against this unintelligent ass entity that the entity is stalking and keeping you under surveillance with. Because there's no sunlight while the entity is keeping a light source over my vehicle in Las Vegas, Nevada, where the Nevada State Police are group stalking. And the people of the state are group stalking. This is what's outside of my vehicle while I'm in the state of Nevada. And you're looking at the light source that's over my window in alignment to me at the same property where you saw it through the windshield of license 8RRY150. All right, that's speaking to what is absolutely impossible and asinine. The demons of the highly unintelligent workforce of the San Diego Police Department, the San Diego Sheriff's Department, literally flew on camera right now, showing how woefully unprepared for prosecution they are and how ready they are for disbanding. All right, the audacity of you to try to threaten an American citizen by stalking in a helicopter when you are fully aware of the fact because of the federal stalking, which is already built into the P.O.C. That's exactly what you're doing. All right, and you're failing in every regard with regard to what the pattern of conduct is supposed to result in. Rather than standing down, they engage in more threatening conduct. And you're going to federal prison for that. And you're also speaking to what is the removal of the corrupt leaders who know very well regarding the pattern of conduct that the departments are engaging in. And so the entity is doing so, crossing path with simultaneity to the screen change. This is a demon. All right, crossing path with simultaneity. This is a demon crossing path. All right, the white Jeep, and doing so with every moment, that every movement, every change in the use of a communication device. And it's the same thing with regard to these demons here. As I walk inside of my hotel room, demons stalking with audible activity. It's literally a chorus. And so they're surrounding. Inside of room 359, right in front is 360. To the side and front is 358, 357. On the side, on the opposite side, which would be along this bedroom, this bathroom wall, there's a hallway, and then they have rooms. They're maintaining relevant positioning at the ends of the hallway. 361, they're all engaged in criminal surveillance. This is group stalking by virtue of checking out a hotel room. And I want to be clear, their presence here is the basis of federal prison. And so group stalking, you're not hiding from federal prison charges which will result in federal prison because you're hiding around in a hotel room. Okay, that's the basis of federal prison. It's not changing when I'm in my personal place, my private space where I live. It's not different when I'm at work and the entity's engaging in terrorism, stalking in helicopters. It's not different when I'm in a hotel and the entity is stalking in helicopters. It's not different when I'm on the freeway and the entity is stalking in helicopters. It's not different when I'm in the shopping mall, when I'm at McDonald's and Starbucks and the entity is stalking in helicopter, all of which I've documented. All right, that's how the system operates, and the entity does it with the population in a readily identifiable environment. Okay, this is speaking for the removal of Scott Wall, the removal of Kelly Martinez, the removal of Todd, I believe it's Garcia. That demon is ripe for removal. Okay, the removal of Mr. Cowell. This is a demon. These are corrupt leaders. I believe he's stepping down anyway this month in 2024 to be replaced by an African American male going by the name of Logan. He's corrupt. This is a demon ready to take position to continue this corrupt system, and that's what Satan is doing. That's how you have the system that's been in operation for decades and decades in this state, in this county, because the entity is engaging what is strategically placing those who will continue the effort. They're continuously engaging in this. That's how you have it. So you already know what is the condition of Mr. Logan, who's set to take position as the next fire chief, who's being appointed by, again, this demon, this corrupt leader, Todd Gloria. You don't have this ongoing pattern of conduct amongst the state, amongst these counties, amongst these departments, because it's just ignorantly underway that nobody. Remember, this system is not only criminal, it's demonic at its core. These demons are placing each other in position. All right, and these demons are acting with the corrupt entity, the people of the state, demons that are group stalking, doing so commercially. That's what FedEx and Fairfield by Marriott represents. That's what the San Diego International Airport represents. They're all waiting for a federal raid. I'm gonna put it to you just like that. They're waiting for a federal raid. So the entity is engaging in a pattern of conduct, and the entity is on the same time, 5:32 p.m. My vehicle in the state of Nevada is under no circumstances sharing any sky space with what's going on in San Diego. And the entity is group stalking by Nevada State Police. Group stalking with the state police, group stalking with CHP. That's the state acting directly. They're going to federal prison license. QGAS, textbook P.O.C. They're going to federal prison. They were already molesting with engineer light. And I took close-up images so you can see the demon possessed. That's state police, group stalking. State police, same fake son. People of the state. So I want to be clear, what you're sharing, what you're recognizing is the specific environment, which is not a natural environment. And that light source remained over me from California, specifically Arcadia, to what is coming nowhere near San Diego County, nowhere near San Diego, California whatsoever. There's only one sun, not 14. Remember, there's only one. And that one sun remained over me from Arcadia, California at the Motel 6, where I was showing the sunrise and the sun remaining over my head, over my hotel room, to the state of Nevada. And the entity, the entire route of that, which is what I'm capturing Nevada State, CHP is engaging in the pattern of conduct, which is the state's engagement in the pattern of conduct, which is the basis of federal prison. So understanding what the state of Nevada is providing against the state of California, providing against the demons who are the San Diego Police Department, who are not helping Fairfield by Marriott. Those demons, who again, I want you to look at, because they're going to federal prison. The next one, their next shift, you're talking about going to federal prison. I don't have to go down there every 5 hours and see who's at the desk. They're documenting themselves. I'm exposing the state's pattern of conduct. You will be punished accordingly. Who you are, where you were, what you were doing when you were doing it, based on where I am at, you're going to be punished accordingly. And when I tell you you're going to federal prison, you can bank on it. You're going to federal prison. So the entity is engaging in this conduct. Now I want you to see their faces, because these are demons that are providing what is unlawful criminal facilitation, and their employment with Marriott Bonvoy. Marriott Bonvoy is going to be criminally prosecuted as a terrorist in this country, that the DOJ is going to recognize with regard to the ways in which, in this capitalistic society, the United States is keeping American citizens under surveillance. It's happening through any and all and every business that's occurring. Anybody coming into the states, doing business in the state of California, they're simultaneously facilitating and directly engaged in the pattern of conduct. They're monitoring while the fake sun is over me. They're monitoring with the demons who are group stalking on the opposite side of my person at the pool while the fake sun is directly over. This is the same location where I was at this morning. 1042, where you can see it through the windshield of the vehicle in the parking lot. It's literally on the opposite side of the wall to the parking lot. This is not a large hotel. Okay, they're engaging in what is stalking. Okay, and this is on its face. The ability to recognize what is demonic, the ability to recognize the stalking system, which is satanic at its root. And then you're looking at the hallmark: stalking in helicopters, stalking by airplanes, engaging in criminal summoning. All right, and you're looking at who are who are in these positions of leadership, so that this is occurring and that it's continuing. And that's also what this serves, not just to prosecute, but to remove corrupt and demon-possessed minions. They serve Satan. They serve Satan. And so do the people of the state. Oh, but they don't have access to helicopters. They will be prosecuted as the animals they want to behave like. They'll sit in federal prison. And any government actor group stalking with them will sit in federal prison. They're going to find themselves at the same level. There is no respecter of persons with regard to engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring. There will be no respecter of persons. You have somebody granted citizenship, a part of the San Diego Sheriff's Department, they're going to be prosecuted and then they're going to be deported. Period. It's the same thing with the population. The entity is going to be prosecuted. You're going to be maintained as a terrorist. Domestic terrorism, and the definition of what domestic terrorism and what it looks like in this country is to be expounded upon. It's going to be defined under federal law. This is the system of domestic terrorism. And just like any other foreign terrorist, you're recognizing literally the state government is the domestic terrorist, literally betraying American citizens with the constituents of the state, the people of the state, engaging in un-American and psychotic terrorism, all right, which is the basis of federal prison. All right, so I just want to be clear. This is what the entity is doing while I'm in the state of Nevada, and the entity has a light source in alignment to me, perfect alignment to me when I'm in Nevada. The two are not happening at the same time. It's absolutely impossible.
Any time of day, because the entity has provided the asininity that I captured on video, that the sun rises and sets over me, for example, at Alvarado Gardens. So what is the state police driving under? They're demon-possessed. They're as corrupt as every other government actor that I've exposed in the state of California. And these people in the state, they're going to federal prison. They're across state lines, by the way, went across state lines with a criminal purpose to keep an American citizen under surveillance. And the criminal activity by the state that's underway in the state of Nevada is just captured, and this is what the state of California is engaging in. This is a statewide system. And this, by the way, is what the rest of the country is engaging in. That's not the sun that's over you.
And you know that because you're looking at a light source over you in Maine, in New York, if it's not flooding anymore, in Florida. I lived in Florida before. It was sunny every single day. Every single day the sun was over me before I was aware of what I was subject to. All right. Every single day it's sunny in Florida. That's not the sun. It's not the natural environment. All right. So that's also how you know what's going on nationwide. And you also know it's nationwide because I went from California to Nevada. That is speaking to a pattern amongst the states, period. All right. So the entity is doing so and arriving in helicopter. It's for the providence for justice. You have what is necessarily, you need to have an education requirement. You have some with regard to that have a requisite education, but clearly there's a misunderstanding and outright disregard of the Constitution. It's not to use it for cleaning up fecal matter. It actually matters. It's a document that has substance and it has significance, and it's supposed to be something that you're supposed to be honoring. It's not just some ritual that you're engaging in when you get on and then you engage in absolutely debunking and disregarding the Constitution along with the people that you're supposed to be protecting and not only protecting, but acting, serving, right, as public servants. I mean, the absurdity of what the entity is doing, it's something that is only that which can be fathomed out of the pit of hell. And that's what federal group stalking and monitoring is. It's demonic. And where Satan is where you will find all forms of wicked, all right? And that's what this criminal conduct reveals, wicked behavior. And where that is, you have public corruption, rampant public corruption. And so this is what I wanted to juxtapose at 5:32, which is why I started this video. It's currently 6:16 p.m. There's a body of evidence of what the entity is doing. The entity is keeping the fake sun. I've been documenting this for years, and it is impossible. Every single venue is speaking to what is mutually exclusive. None of them are evidence of what could ever be the natural environment. And that's why I documented it. And you're looking at it while it's in Las Vegas, Nevada, over me, and Nevada State Police are competing with the environment that San Diego is engaging in the exact same criminal pattern of conduct. It's federal group stalking and monitoring, exposing every demon that's occupying the hotel rooms where the fake moon was at. You saw that last night. My multiple shadows, gang stalking by impossible light activity. Your shadows surrounding you, that's creating light activity. You're monitoring yourself, and all the demons stalking in the hotel room, working in the hotel, engaging in stalking, surveillance, a whole bunch of sleepers stalking in the parking lot, and demons that are group stalking in the sky space and on the roads and the highways, keeping you under surveillance while your shadows surround you. That's what I captured under the fake moon that was also over the same parking lot. The same exact parking lot. That's the P.O.C. Okay, so I just want to be clear again, what I captured today, you need to recall not only the government actors who I have named and the terrorism that I'm subject to. This is a molestation. This is not an engineered light, this is engineered light, not normal light activity. And there is no iteration of the P.O.C. that is outside of sexual violence, touching your person with anything. Demons touch you with engineered light. Demons want to look like they're in traffic like you. They're driving around in the dark with headlights on like you. And no, those are demons, and that's engineered light. Their headlights it's not even natural light activity. They have headlights on where you stand outside and you have 5 shadows. That is speaking to the pattern of conduct, which creates context regarding everything that's happening, including as your person is being molested. You're not engaging in private, normal conduct that is free, okay? Meaning you're free to engage in. No, you're not free to do any of that in the specific environment. And this is a reality, a wake-up call for the state of California. They're not free to engage in any of this. All right, so the entity is doing so. And while I'm capturing the fake sun, as I go to, again, state facilitating venue, the San Diego Police Department, where the light source in its zenith, directly over the top of my head. And this is at 12:59 p.m. en route, just like when I went to Las Vegas, street for street, turn for turn, the entire route out of the state of California. This is revealing who makes up the police department. What is the condition of those, and what are they engaging in by virtue of this image in and of itself? Directly over me, you already know that this is the work of Satan. San Diego, literally, Satan owns them. Okay, they are engaged in the bidding of Satan. That becomes legally relevant because Satan has people out here terrorizing and targeting American citizens in the United States. So it's legally relevant that the demon possessed that are part of the San Diego Police Department are a bunch of closeted sex offenders. They're a bunch of closeted psychopaths. And this is not a matter of name calling. You just saw those demons stalking in a helicopter, in the scientific impossibility that the sun would ever be present over the same parking lot where you saw it at 1042 through a windshield at the same property. Those are what make up stalking and helicopters. And these are the demons that are pacing in and out, still monitoring right now. All they're doing is monitoring. And you know that because this is what controls. Not while the psychopaths look to the left and right as though they're ignorant about your presence. Everything you're doing, they're focused on it. They're sex offenders that are consumed all too much about my genitalia. While they're focused on what I'm doing, while they're focused on trying to touch all over me, I'm prosecuting them. All right. And they're not walking away without a criminal record that they will never live down. It is currently 6:20 p.m. And this is at the, again, third-party facilitating venue, Fairfield by Marriott, which is located at 4345. Let me get this right now so you can see this address. 4345 Mission. Let's get Fairfield Inn and Suites. And you're just mindful of what the entity was doing when literally on the same day when I drove into Vegas. Remember, what is the entity doing over MGM Hotel? when they had the whole criminal summoning episode, the entity kept sounding sirens and pulling out beds. The demons that operate ambulances, oh, we're pulling out beds, we're doing something important, we've got an emergency. You're looking at the fake sun, you're looking at the sunlight, you're looking at me driving around in Nevada with the fake sun, a sunset, and that's what you're looking at over Fairfield and Marriott in San Diego, California. Okay, the entity, while it engages in this criminal system that's fully exposed, they're now prosecuting each other. Okay, they're prosecuting each other. So that's speaking to the expiration date. That's speaking to the implosion of Satan's secret system of federal group stalking and monitoring, as I have termed it. And here at 4345 Mission Bay Drive, San Diego, California, yeah, there's no shared environment with regard to what Nevada was engaging in. The Las Vegas Police Department, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, that whole group, that whole gang of demons that engaged in that exercise of fictitious authority, like I stated then, I'm going to reiterate it now, they're going to federal prison. As sure as every third party that's engaged in criminal presence, a facilitation with the people, and doing so with impunity. All right. And the federal judges, the federal courts, the federal law itself is recognizing it, how a corrupt society engages in this conduct. And the employees, I want to be clear, who's going to federal prison. These are just the two that were at the desk right now. When I checked in, the entire workforce, you're talking about everybody that's reporting for work, they're going to federal prison because they're group stalking with the demons who are maintaining presence in the path. This, what you see here with this gray SUV, this is what this demon was doing this morning under the fake moon outside of my hotel room. Stalking in the path with light while you saw the fake moon directly in alignment with me. So let me remind you, because that's what this demon is doing right now, stalking in an SUV. This represents the people of the state. This is why these terrorists are going to federal prison. This is why these terrorists are subject to deportation. That's why these terrorists are going to walk away with a criminal record as a domestic terrorist, which is going to limit where they can work, what industries they can work in, the ways in which they are able to be in the workforce. For example, they can't operate planes. They can't work amongst the public, such as driving public transportation. They can't be around children. They can't bear weapons. This is necessary with regard to the pattern of conduct. And this is exactly what this demon was doing this morning. Stalking in the path with light right outside of my hotel room while the fake moon was over me. This is what this demon is doing now. Stalking with the method of light activity while the fake sun is still over me. That's the same pattern of conduct. And this is what Fairfield by Marriott, who has impossible light activity in the venue, who has demon-possessed third-party group stalkers who they are monitoring with, acting with impunity while they engage in federal stalking together. Okay, the demons that are maintaining presence in the path, their demons are checking in and out, engaging in the elements of monitoring with the demons who are stalking in planes and helicopters, and they are all going to watch their own demise, their own prosecution. A demon that's stalking in the stalking in the path with light activity, you're talking about what is trying to speed off and avoid being captured, their license plate, and that's a demon that doesn't recognize, and like the rest of them. These are third parties. This is an entity that does not recognize the ways in which its own criminal system and the ways in which you're going to prosecute that criminal system. And so while you are acting with impunity, it's relevant to, first of all, draining the pockets of Courtyard by Marriott commercial actors and every other one. It's not just Fairfield. As I've shown you, but it's speaking to what Speaker Companies was engaging in. The corporate office is going to federal prison. This impunity is shared by them. This ongoing, oh, I don't care that you're documenting. I don't care that you just got direct evidence of stalking in a helicopter in the specific. I don't care about none of that. I'm still going to stalk. I'm going to stand right in front of you're saying all of that when you're in the path with a method of light activity. The light activity via this vehicle in the parking lot is analogous to the flickering light in the parking garage. It's analogous to the demons who were stalking using a police vehicle engaged in criminal summoning. It's called light activity in the specific environment. It's criminal facilitation. The demons driving on Mission Boulevard are readily capable, more effectively engaged in the P.O.C. And what I want to show you here, this is demonic. You have one, literally every 32 seconds, another demon is taking off right here where the commercial airline planes are taking off. This is where the entity is concentrating plane activity. The San Diego International Airport is subject to what is a federal prosecution for state surveillance, group stalking with demons who come in close quarters in order to monitor you, aiding with the demons who are stalking and plane and helicopters. This is exactly where they're concentrating their takeoff. They're heightening an elevation from right here over and over and over again. And if you pay attention to my videos, you'll see that. I'm not pointing it out because the demons engage in the pattern. And once I point it out, then they start deviating from it. License 349W07. That's impunity that's afforded together. They're demons monitoring together. All right. And this is a sex offender. They're group stalking just like the demons at Economy Inn in Ontario, California, where the entity had a sunset and a sunrise over the pool and over the same hotel in the evening after 6:30 in the evening. This this is what the entity is competing with. It's entirely unintelligent, and this is a corrupt entity that is not ready to be prosecuted in the ways in which it seeks to conspire to murder people and kidnap, and then they do so in impunity, because that's what this is. It's impunity. And Courtyard by Marriott, I'm going to drain them. They're going to pay for this impunity. For the sexual violence, they're going to pay me for that sexual violence. For the terrorism, they're going to pay me for that terrorism. All right? The ongoing conspiracy to murder and kidnap me with demons who come onto their grounds, group stalking with them, with the demons who are stalking in planes and helicopters. Courtyard by Marriott's going to pay me, and their employees are going to federal prison. Okay? So it's currently 6:26 p.m. This is P.O.C. And this is on the 3rd floor, facing what is Mission Boulevard. This is the light source, and that's engineered light that you can see. I want you to just see ongoing engineered light on the side of the building. It was on the ground when I first started. It rapidly changes, but there's no movement of the fake sun. You pay attention to that. I've already taught you that. I've shown you this on and on. This is a light activity while a demon stalks in the path, engaged in Title 18, stalking in the path, creating light activity. A demon comes out, get inside of their car, or gets out of their car, stalking while the San Diego Sheriff's Department is stalking in a helicopter, okay? Under the fake sun, flying right next to it, engaged in the same exact P.O.C. And this is how the governments are exposing what they're doing in this country. San Diego, Kelly Martinez can kiss her job goodbye. She's going to be exposed as a terrorist, a domestic terrorist. And you have what is the terrorist leader over the San Diego Police Department. Also, he has just lost his position as a terrorist leader over a corrupt law enforcement agency. The San Diego International Airport fully engaged in the state's pattern of conduct. And this is a demon that's engaging in facilitation, monitoring, group stalking with corrupt law enforcement agencies in that same way. All right, Courtyard by Marriott are on surveillance cameras inside of the office. They're going to federal prison. It's P.O.C. It's currently 6:27 p.m. when you're looking at the light source, and it's not in Las Vegas, Nevada. There's no sun in Las Vegas, Nevada, where it's creating any light activity in my hotel room in San Diego. And that's how you recognize facilitation. And that's how you recognize demon possession, okay? The demons who were group stalking, let me point this out to you, because they're going to federal prison. I documented them on video, and since I'm capturing them stalking in helicopters, I want to make sure that I point out who is indeed going to federal prison, as I captured criminal summoning. The entity that is group stalking, license 1578713. They're crossing path under the fake sun, which you can see through the windshield of that vehicle. This is after I captured that video, which all the entity is observing, engaged in federal stalking, and doing so to communicate a threat. This is not lawful conduct. Your headquarters for the police department is a crime scene. It's a facilitating venue, a state facilitating venue, and you're group stalking. You're in violation of federal law, and that's a basis of federal prison for this state actor who's crossing path with license plate 1578713. In addition to that, I documented the state group stalking, engaged in criminal summoning, and they are going to federal prison for that. So let's review that as well. San Diego police group stalking with the people of the state. The same demons you see driving amongst a puddle of engineered light that's appearing inside of a parking garage. Those are the people of the state that are being pulled over with these demons who are stalking a helicopter on video. The demon possessed who wear badges, who engage in group stalking, go to federal prison for that. And so I want to make sure that I capture this video in this screen recording, because they're going to federal prison. I captured it on podcast as well. This is at 1:47 p.m. under the fake sun. The same fake sun that's over me at the same exact Fairfield Inn and Marriott, where the entity, the same corrupt state, is stalking in helicopters and openly communicating a threat with a bunch of demons who are stalking, including Amazon Prime. I'm not going to focus on that because Amazon Prime is literally done. Okay, they've been so heavily documented. You have many of them going to federal prison, group stalking with LAPD, Ontario PD, Fontana PD. Amazon is fully engaged in state terrorism. So this is the entity that is crossing path and group stalking with San Diego PD.
Diego police, they're group stalking, and let me show you the fake sun. There it is.
And that's how you're recognizing criminal summoning. A bunch of demons who are group stalking someone else, and demons who are wearing badges engage in public corruption, engage in the abuse of the positions that they hold, while they're engaging in what is a fictitious exercise of authority. Because they're engaging in criminal conduct with the demons who are the people of the state, the same ones who are flickering, flashing, and stalking in the path in the engineered environment, and then you're engaging in a traffic stop with those demons, okay? This is speaking to the entire masquerade. The demon possessed are playing cops and robbers out here while they're engaged in state surveillance together. This is the light source over me, a phenomenon, impossible to be the natural environment, hence demons who are group stalking together. And again, this is license 1589249. These two demons are group stalking with this third party who's going to federal prison, license 7LJM899. One demon after another, just like Amazon Prime is right now, license 95504Z2. That's Amazon Prime, who's group stalking with San Diego PD. That demon goes on camera at Fairfield by Marriott right now and is group stalking with San Diego PD, who's stalking in helicopter with the people of the state who are acting commercially. That's what Amazon Prime is. And this demon that's in their gray SUV, stalking in the path, just like Amazon Prime. It's the same P.O.C. All right. That's what I'm speaking to right now. This is what Cintas was doing in this afternoon, group stalking with the state. This is criminal summoning. That's what this is. Demons that are stalking the path in the engineer environment, you're looking at them demonstrating the fact that they're demon possessed. And they're engaging in criminal activity with the constituents of the state. All right? It does not get any more despicable and disgusting and shameful as that. All right? So the entity is engaging in this conduct, and these two clowns are going to federal prison. They're going to federal prison. The demon affiliate Chris Plumbing, he's going to federal prison. I documented it on a podcast, and the entity, every third party that's group stalking, he's going to federal prison. This is called criminal summoning. Him and his ticket, whatever they think is proof of the fact, oh, I really got a ticket. You really caught these federal charges. You're going to federal prison. You're really going to federal prison. This is called criminal summoning. All right. And these demons are bearing weapons, engaging in state surveillance, and they're around the perimeter in relevant position to my hotel room where the fake sun remained over me, en route to San Diego Police Department, back to my hotel room. This is called criminal summoning, stalking in the path with light activity, just like this demon is doing in the parking lot right here. San Diego Police was flying over. Amazon Prime was group stalking in the parking lot in the same exact manner. A commercial means and the demon-possessed population that use what they have at their disposal. All right, so the entity is doing so on surveillance cameras. And you're doing so with regard to what I documented, the state group stalking with the very demons who are group stalking the constituents of the state. Those are the demons, the corrupt actors that are being pulled over for tickets, and it's to monitor the targeted individual. Okay, that's recognizing that. And the entity is engaging in what is to the demise of all the demons who are in the hotel rooms. You're talking about a lot of people going to federal prison. A lot. Okay, it's currently, let me get this, while the entity is stalking in helicopter, it is currently 6:32 p.m. That's called crossing a path. So I want you to see the faces of those who are going to be removed as they are exposing. The more that I speak the truth regarding this public corruption, the more that the entity engages in this conduct to its own demise, okay? Its own demise. This is something that Mayor Todd Gloria is fully engaged in, fully aware of. Acts closely with the leaders of these corrupt departments that I'm exposing. This is not only a corrupt actor, this is a demon-possessed person, and he needs to be removed from the position that he currently holds because this criminal conduct is happening on his watch. It is at the very least dereliction of duty, where a very series of federal offenses designed to murder and kidnap American citizens remains underway. But it's not dereliction of duty. It's also with regard to what is demons who are engaged in and facilitating Satan's system, Satan's surveillance system of federal group stalking and monitoring. And this is speaking to what is the removal of, again, state actors such as this state actor, again, Scott Wall, has met his demise as I'm coming out here and honing in on the criminal activity that San Diego County is engaging in, the people of San Diego, and the San Diego Police Department. And that's why there is a fake sun, a light source, speaking to what Scott Wall's condition and every other demon affiliated bearing these badges, which literally resemble dishonor and shameful, unprofessional, animalistic criminal activity. Okay, it doesn't get any more despicable than the San Diego Police Department, and this is shared by the Sheriff's Department, who are accessing and using and abusing helicopters that are pacing over in alignment to my hotel room right now, under what is a fake sun that remains in alignment to my hotel room, which is a scientific impossibility. This is where the demons are stalking in helicopter right now, and this is where the people of the state, the ones who they rely on to keep you under surveillance and group stalk with them. It's a demon-possessed entity, and it is the P.O.C. All right, it's currently 6:34 p.m.